Okay, here's a question for you. Is it better to be lucky or good? Or maybe, sometimes, you just get hit by a geopolitical jackpot. Welcome to D-Risk, a podcast where we provide a no-nonsense analysis of stocks. Today we're doing a deep dive into Trilogy Metals, that's ticker TMQ. And just so you know, all our research is based on data we captured this morning, October 7th, 2025.
Yeah, and it's a strange time to be looking at this stuff. The macro picture is, well, it's messy.
Messy how?
Well, you've got this nervous feeling domestically, right? Everyone's talking about the potential U.S. government shutdown.
Right, that's looming.
Exactly. But then globally, you've got massive stimulus happening, and commodities, especially gold, are just soaring. It's quite the clash.
A real conflict. And that seemed to trickle right down into TMQ's story, didn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before yesterday, TMQ was, well, it was mostly theoretical. An exploration company sitting on some really interesting deposits up in Alaska, copper, cobalt, zinc.
But strictly pre-revenue.
Totally pre-revenue. And our research showed analysts were, kind of lukewarm, calling it fairly valued around $2.09. But you could sense the conviction wasn't really there.
Because of the big problem.
Because of the huge problem.
Right.
They couldn't actually get the minerals out. That was the whole story, really.
Mm-hmm.
A massive logistical hurdle.
They had these critical minerals, stuff needed for defense, for secure supply chains.
Vital stuff, yeah.
But no way to transport them. So the valuation was almost based on, assuming failure on that front.
That's a good way to put it. Assuming the roadblock literally would remain. But then the government's perspective shifted. They started seeing those deposits not just as a private company's asset, but as a strategic national reserve.
And they didn't just signal support, they put their money where their mouth is.
Big time. A $35.6 million direct investment, bang. The U.S. government now owns 10% of TMQ.
Wow. Okay, so cash injection, that's huge.
Uh-huh.
But you said that's only half of it. Does having the government as a major shareholder bring its own complications, maybe political risks?
It's always a factor to consider, definitely. But in this specific case, the other shoe that dropped is probably even bigger.
Which was?
The presidential order. Signed, sealed, delivered, granting the permits for the Ambler Access Project. That's the 211-mile road they desperately needed.
Ah, so that unlocks everything.
It unlocks everything. It just vaporized the single largest uncertainty hanging over the company. So TMQ basically transformed overnight. It went from a risky exploration play to a strategically vital government-backed asset.
So all those previous analyst valuations around $2.
Obsolete. You can pretty much toss them out. The fundamentals completely reset.
And the market certainly seemed to agree. We looked at the options activity. It's just wild. The put-call ratio is what, 0.07?
Yeah, minuscule. For you listening, that basically means for every one person betting the stock will go down, there are about 14 betting it'll go up. Extremely bullish.
Does that kind of one-sided sentiment worry you? Is it too obvious?
Normally, yeah, extreme consensus can be a contrarian flag, but here the news is just so fundamental, so game-changing. And it's not like there's a big short position to squeeze short interest is tiny, like 0.25%. There are hardly any bears left.
Okay, and the technicals tell a story too, right? Especially for anyone caught on the wrong side.
Oh, definitely. It was consolidating quietly, then just boom, volume explodes, volatility spikes.
Yeah, I saw that note in our research. Someone apparently sold right at the regular market close, around $2.09.
Right before the news hit after hours. Ugh.
Only to watch it rocket up towards, $7.08?
Yeah, traded as high as $7.08 after hours. Textbook case of, just brutal timing. A painful reminder that fundamentals can shift on a dime.
So pulling it all together, what's the outlook now?
Look, the outlook has shifted, decisively bullish. That government investment plus the road permit, it's just a massive de-risking event. It pretty much overrides any short-term technical weakness that might have been there before the announcement.
Okay, bullish outlook, but nothing's ever guaranteed. What are the main risks we need to watch out for?
Good question. 3 things mainly come to mind. First, the classic sell the news reaction. After a huge pop like this, some profit taking is, pretty normal.
Okay, watch for consolidation or pullback. Makes sense.
Second, that broader market nervousness we talked about, the shutdown fears, that could still drag everything down, even strong stocks. Market tide matters.
True. And the third,
Execution.
Yeah.
This is still the biggest long-term one. They got the money, they got the permits, but they still have to actually build that 211-mile road and develop the mine efficiently and on schedule. That's no small feat.
Right. The real work is still ahead.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
so for you listening, let's talk levels. Where's the battleground?
All right, key numbers to watch. That pre-market low after the spike, around $5.37, that's your first crucial support level. Bulls really need to hold that.
And the upside.
The target is definitely beyond that initial after-hours high of $7.08. We're looking for continuation.
And where does the bullish idea break down? The invalidation point.
If things really turn sour and the stock falls and, importantly, closes below $4, then yeah, we'd have to seriously rethink the bullish case. That would suggest something more than just profit-taking is going on.
Got it. So $5.37 support, targeting above $7.08, and below $4 is the uh-oh zone. It really feels like, for Trilogy Metals, the government didn't just, move the goalposts. It feels like they built them a whole new stadium.
That's a good analogy.
Maybe the biggest risk sometimes is just not recognizing a fundamental change right when it stares you in the face. That's all for this episode. Remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only and isn't financial advice. Do your own research or consult with qualified financial advisors before making any investments. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you in the next episode.